We want to solve here equation logarithm to the base 5 of x plus logarithm to the base 5 of x minus 2 plus logarithm to the base 5 of x plus 4. You can see that the variable appears as input of the logarithm, therefore this is a logarithmic equation. And because the terms contain logarithms, this is an equation that can be reduced to the form logarithm of to the base a of u is equal logarithm to the base a of v. Because this is a logarithmic equation, we have to start with determining what values of x are allowed for that equation to make sense. So we are looking for the domain of the variable. The first logarithm is defined when x's are greater than 0. The second is defined when x minus 2 is greater than 0. And the third logarithm is defined when x plus 4 is greater than 0. These conditions have to be satisfied simultaneously for the equation to make sense. So we'll get x greater than 0, and we want x greater than 2, and we want x greater than negative 4. Those three conditions mean that we need x's to be greater than 2. So only a number greater than 2 can be a solution of this equation. So once we have a domain, we go to the step 2. We want to write this equation in the form logarithm equals logarithm. So we'll use properties of logarithms to combine the logarithms and write it in such a form. So on the left hand side you have the sum of two logarithms. That sum of two logarithms can be combined as the one logarithm, and we will have logarithm to the base 5 of x times x minus 2. On the left and the right hand side is just the single logarithm, so it stays as it was. Because logarithmic functions are one-to-one, we can conclude now that because the values of logarithms are the same, then the inputs will have to be the same, and therefore x times x minus 2 will have to be x plus 4. To see what kind of equation we obtain, which is algebraic equation, we'll eliminate the parentheses first. So we'll have x squared minus 2x is equal x plus 4, and bringing everything to one side is going to give me x squared minus 3x minus 4 equals 0. This is a quadratic equation that can be quickly solved by factoring. X squared minus 3x minus 4 factors as x minus 4 times x plus 1, and therefore we quickly get that x has to be 4 or x has to be negative 1. So x equal 4 and x equal negative 1 are solutions of the quadratic equation. However, to determine whether these are solutions of the logarithmic equation that we started with, we'll have to check whether those values are in the domain. If you look at the step 1, the x's have to be greater than 2 for this equation to make sense. So we can't include x equal negative 1 as a solution because it's not in the domain. And therefore, only solution is x equal 4. So the step 5 would be to write the solution, and the solution is the number 4.